Imagine waking up every day feeling like you're trapped, not by walls you see, but by walls you don't. Invisible barriers telling you who you can be, what you can do, who you're allowed to help, and how far your investment can really stretch beyond numbers on a spreadsheet. The world around us screams freedom, innovation, growth, but beneath this noise, there's a silent crisis, a pain that founders, investors, leaders, and change-makers carry every day. The crushing weight of chasing returns that often feel hollow, empty, disconnected from the real-world suffering. The problem isn't just financial, it's existential. What if the best investments, the ones worth every ounce of passion or capital you have, aren't measured by profit margins or quarterly reports? What if their true value lies in one thing, and one thing only, saving lives? Think about that for a second. What if your next move, your next fund, your next bold venture was not just about money multiplying, but about the ripple effect of human lives transformed, lifted from despair, saved, and given new hope? The kind of hope that doesn't vanish with market downturns or boardroom disagreements. Not a charity, not a tax write-off, but a real, thriving social enterprise built not on exploitation nor quick wins, but on radical empathy and sustainable change. Imagine an investment so deeply aligned with the raw, urgent truths of today's world that to ignore it would be to betray your very purpose. Because here's the brutal truth nobody wants to admit. The systems we trust, the frameworks we celebrate, the economies we defend, they are breaking too many people. They promise progress, but deliver an endless cycle of inequalities. They reward mediocrity while punishing the extraordinary. They hand you blueprints for success, but those blueprints are designed for the comfortable, the compliant, not for the revolutionary thinkers, the founders who burn with ideas that could really shake the world. In this system, brilliance gets lost, vision gets buried, and the most urgent problems, the ones that cost lives, get shoved to the back burner. Meanwhile, the clock ticks on for millions who need more than ideologies. They need solutions that work, solutions that save. And that's where social enterprises step into the light, illuminating a path no spreadsheet can map. These are not just businesses chasing profit. They are movements that fuse heart and mind, passion and precision, impact and innovation. They hold a mirror to the broken world and say, "We will not accept this anymore." They reject the false comfort of good enough and dare to build models where investing means healing, growing, and saving. Places where the return on capital isn't just dollars, but changed lives, revitalized communities, and futures rewritten. But here's the catch. This kind of investment demands more than money. It demands vision, guts, and a willingness to break old molds. It requires seeing beyond the spreadsheet, beyond the rules, beyond the noise. It means understanding social impact isn't a side project or a trend. It's the core of true value creation. You don't just fund these ventures. You become part of their story, their fight, their revolution. The challenge? Most investors don't know where to start. They're stuck chasing traditional returns, questioning if impact can really go hand in hand with growth. They wrestle with doubt. Can doing good survive the ruthless demands of markets? The answer is not only yes, it must become the new normal. Here's the secret that only a few truly grasp. The most powerful investments aren't about playing it safe or following the crowd. They're made by those who dare to step into uncertainty, who accept that real change requires patience, persistence, and relentless focus on the people behind the numbers. It's about picking founders who don't just pitch profits, they pitch purpose, who don't just want to scale, they want to save. Because when you invest in social enterprises, you're investing in the raw human stories behind every challenge, stories of survival, resilience, and sometimes heartbreaking loss. And when that investment hits the mark, it saves lives in ways no traditional venture ever could. Now imagine the possibilities. Clean energy projects that power whole villages, slashing disease and poverty at their roots. health startups that take life-saving medicine to the most unreachable corners of the world, education ventures that unlock potential for children born into systems stacked against them. These aren't just opportunities to invest, they're calls to arms, to put capital where it can ignite change so profound it alters destinies, to become the rare few who not only see the edge, but choose to walk it, knowing this is where real progress happens. And the beauty of investing this way? It transforms everything for you too. It unlocks a new level of purpose and connection. Because watching lives saved isn't just satisfying, it's addictive. It's a fire that fuels every decision, every risk, every challenge. It defeats the numbness that comes from chasing dollar signs alone, replacing it with a fierce hunger for real impact. You don't just build a portfolio, you build a legacy. You don't just grow wealth, you grow hope. But to get here, something has to change inside every founder, investor, and leader watching this right now. That old way of thinking, the way that confines you to comfort zones, that demands certainty over courage, that worships metrics over meaning, has to go. The world is done waiting for safe bets. It craves the bold, the brave, the brutal truth tellers who will disrupt the systems designed to hold us back. It calls for those who will refuse to settle for less than the fire inside them demands. This moment is a turning point. To keep watching from the sidelines is to choose indifference. To step forward is to join something bigger than any one of us, a movement where money becomes a tool of liberation, not just accumulation. The rare individuals, the founders who refuse to rest, the investors who dare to lead, they are the architects of a future where saving lives is the ultimate return on investment. It is there, at the edges, not the center, where progress is born. It is where you find the space to unlearn everything you thought you knew about growth, success, and impact, and rebuild with fire and focus. Aligning with this mission means embracing a new code. Be sovereign in your will, be critical in your questions, be relentless in your pursuit of transformation. It demands patience, because real change is a long game, but one that pays off in human lives saved, in communities reborn, in futures unchained. This isn't about being comfortable, it's about being unstoppable, about carving out a space for the exceptional, the misunderstood, the determined few who carry the weight of tomorrow's world on their shoulders. A space where difference isn't a problem, it's a weapon, where isolation gives way to synergy and disparate brilliance links into a force no system can ignore. When you become part of this, you join a network that's no ordinary community. It's a catalyst, a launchpad, a sanctuary for those who burn too bright to fit anywhere else. So recognize the truth here. The world won't change by hoping or by half measures. It will change when capital chooses to fuel life, not just profits. When investors stop asking, what's the safest bet, and start asking, what saves the most lives? That is the investment revolution waiting to happen. Not one fueled by fear or compliance, but by belief in the extraordinary power of each individual to remake reality. And this revolution has a place for you, for your vision, your courage, your capital, not to grow old systems that fail millions, but to build new worlds that save them. You're not here to be a passenger, you're here to be a spark. The spark that lights a fire so bright, it can't be ignored. A fire that will forge a future where the best investments no longer just add to your wealth, they add to our humanity. And that is a return no one can put a price on.